Hello artists, this is Ms. Monroe, your visual art teacher, and today I am going to show you how to make a mola. Now a mola is a traditional cloth made by the women of the Kuna tribe from the San Blas Islands in Panama. They are usually really colorful, they're bright, they're filled with different patterns, lines, shapes, and they usually have a central focus. Now, Panama is a country in Central America. It is a rainforest. There's lots of trees, plants, lots of animal and plant life, lots of things to draw from for ideas. And these cloths take anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months to make, depending on how intricate, that means how detailed the pattern is. So this is just what we're gonna make. And this is not a real one. This is just one that we are inspired by. We're gonna be inspired by the mola to make this with things found at home. So you're gonna need some construction paper. If you don't have construction paper, you know you can always make your own colored paper just by using blank paper, using crayons, markers, or anything you have available to you, and you can lay down some color. Now, you want multiple colors. You want to use scraps. So I have a lot of scraps from previous projects that I will be using to create my mola because it is stitched together. It's pieces of fabric, it's embroidered and quilted. So this is my idea and I'm gonna go with it. So let's get started. What I like to do first is I like to think about what I'm gonna put as my central focus. What animal, plant, person I'm gonna think of to draw first. And I'm gonna pick a color. So I'm gonna use green. That's because I have what I have. And I'm gonna use a pen. And you know what? I'm gonna draw a parrot because I know most of us, when we voted in class, we voted for a parrot. You can also do a butterfly. Now, when I draw a parrot, I'm going to break it down into its shapes. So when I think of a parrot, it has a head, and its head is a circle. And I think about my parrot's body, it's an oval. And then parrots have tail feathers. So that's either usually a rectangle, or you can make it a pentagon. And they also have wings. And they have feet. Remember, we're using shapes. And then it has a beak. Okay, so there's my parrot. People who want to make a butterfly. I think about a butterfly. Butterflies are symmetrical, okay? So there's going to be different ways to do it. I'm drawing mine, but I can also show you a different way in a different video. So I think about a butterfly, I think about its body. Then I think about its wings. My wings have two parts. So a big loop, so I'm going to repeat it on the other side. And then it has a little loop. And then it has, there you go. There's your butterfly, there's your parrot. I'm going to stop, I'm going to speed through, and I'm going to cut it out. Okay, boys and girls, so I have a butterfly, which I can always just glue that, so I'm not worried. And I have a parrot. From a previous one, I also have a flower, so I'm going to use both of these. But I need to make my parrot stand out a little more. So I'm actually going to take another color, and I'm going to, let's see if I can make it fit. Aha, I can almost make it, there we go, I can make it work. I want to lay it down, and I want to leave some space around my parrot. I'm doing the parrots. So here I go, and I want to glue it with my lines that I use to draw it, my shapes, down so I don't see those lines anymore. I'm going to cover it up. Put some glue down. rounds. I got it to fit, so let's see if I can get it to fit again. Ooh, I don't really like that. Let's see. How did I get that to work? There we go. There we go, sticking it down. Now, some of us have done this before and some of us have not done this before. What you're gonna do around your parrot or whatever animal you chose to draw, if you look at the slideshow, there's a lot of different animals that they like to use in their molas. I'm gonna make an expanded line, like a bubble, and I don't have to draw that one there, around my parrot. I don't have to go in here because I might accidentally cut off the leg, so I'm gonna leave that one blank. So I expand my line, expand my shape, and I go cut, 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 cut. Okay, could probably clean that off a little better because I don't really want to see the lines I drew, but for the sake of this project, that works. Okay, so I have my parrot and I have a flower. Now, what I have to make is the background. I have to find a piece of paper and I can choose any color. You are the artist. You get to choose the color of your Mola cloth. If you look at the slideshow presentation, you see that they actually use a variety of colors. Red is probably the most popular, but there's blues, there's oranges, there's lots and lots of colors. So I don't want, it's a cloth, but they tend to be a square. So I'm gonna fold it until it looks like a square. So about 3 inches. And I can fold that back and forth. Or you can use the whole sheet. I'm not telling you to have to do this, but I feel like it's easier. And I'm just gonna carefully, after doing that, there we go. A little extra, it's okay. And then I'm gonna put my parrot in the middle. I'm gonna put my flower somewhere. Or I can just leave it. You know what? This poor flower, I'm gonna use it sometime, but I really don't like it right now with my bird. So I'm actually gonna turn my bird over. Okay, I've glued it down, and now I have this background. What can I do in my background? I'm gonna break it into different pieces, and I am going to decorate it and fill it in with different lines, shapes, and patterns. I wanna stick to just plain geometric patterns. I don't wanna get too ornate because we wanna finish this today and not in 6 months. Remember, they take anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 months to make, and we're making one in 1 hour. Okay, so when you make this, you can use whatever you have available to you to make the background. You can use scraps of paper. You can chop them up and put them in the background to give you some extra fun things to look at, to break up the background. So I can make these, right? I can put some extra pieces of cloth and shapes. I would not use purple on purple. You can, so if I decided not to do that, I can use oil pastels, I can use crayons, I can use markers. I'm gonna use what I have available to me. I'm using oil pastels, but I'm gonna let you know, I'm gonna show you some other ones I have made. You can use crayons, you can use markers, you You have to do trial and error and figure out what's gonna pop out on the color you picked. Okay, so here I go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break my background into sections to help me fill it in with patterns. Because otherwise I'm just gonna be like, oh, here's some green lines, here's some. So I start here, top of my bird, go to the edge. I don't wanna touch the edge. And then I'm gonna go down, and I'm gonna come back around my bird. There's one. Then I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go down, around my bird. I'm breaking into 4 pieces. You are the artist, you can decide. It's just easier for me to think of 4 easy peasy sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you're gonna do, there's 2 things. You can fill them in with little dash lines. So I can go back in here and I can make a pattern. Okay, you can be inspired by the slideshow presentation. You are the artist, you get to decide. The other thing that you can do, so remember I'm using oil pastels, but you are the artist, you can choose what you want, is you can break them into these fun little lines that fill around the shape and get smaller. So I'm actually gonna do this in these 2 sections, and I'm gonna do this one in the sections because they do like to have a pattern and they do like to have repetition. Da, 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 da. And I'm gonna go back with my orange. And I'm gonna make my pattern. And I can go back and I can add another color if I want. Okay, here's my mola. I'm gonna add more details. But I have to break my bird into little pieces. So how I break my bird into little pieces is I'm actually going to use crayons this time. And I have to think about, once again, those shapes. So I'm going to think about how my bird has a circle for a head, has a shape for its beak, it has a wing, and it has its feathers. And then I can add its eyeball. And I can change my colors up and I can add some fun patterned lines. Now keep in mind, I am being very simple with mine, and you can be as ornate, that means as detailed and decorative as you want. I can go back in with more colors. I can go back in, get some darks, get some lights, and add some pinks. All the colors of the rainbow. We can make some dots. Okay, you are the artist, you can decide. And here, so this is one I made before. Here's another one. I like parrots. They're fun and colorful. Here's a butterfly. Here's another parrot. These are ones just made at home, okay? Using what I have. So I only had white paper, so I made white paper, but then I got to color it in, okay? And this one I just broke the background up with lines and dots. This one I broke the background into different shapes and pieces. Lines, dots, flowers. You are the artist, you get to decide. You are amazing, okay? So I will see you all shortly with another lesson. Have a great day.